So y'all, these little 2-hour episodes is cute or whatever, but I'm gonna need y'all to get to the nitty gritty, the day-to-day drama, because I'm ready for it. I'm tired of these cutesy dootsy little marriage scenes. It's cute or whatever, but we know half of them ain't gonna make it. So let's see who it is. Child, I ain't got all day, but I have a review for you guys. So let's get into it. Welcome to Leah D TV, where we kiki over reality TV. If you love TV and want to joke and laugh about all the drama you see, hit that subscribe button and get comfy, child, because we about to get into it. So we see Brett, and she's getting ready to walk down the aisle. She's so nervous, and she finally makes her way out. Ryan gives us a itty-bitty smile. It was like a little grin. I was like, oh my God, was that a smile, Ryan? You always see him looking like somebody stole his puppy, but he looked really excited to see Brett. So I was happy about that. Because y'all know I want this couple to work. Come on now. Ryan says that he was nervous, but he looked cute. So I noticed that they were standing pretty far apart on the, like down on the, you know, where they were standing on the aisle or whatever. I was like, y'all could move a little bit closer. Y'all are miles away, child. And they was reading what Ryan's friends and family said about him, and they was like, be prepared for weekends at the ranch. Child, why did Brett friends start frowning up? Excuse me, y'all ain't gonna be there, so don't be frowning up. But even Brett was like, oh shit. But then they said something about the notebook, and she was like, oh, okay. So she's really probably gonna like that sweet side of Ryan, but y'all know, don't nobody want to hear nothing about a ranch, child, and the wedding vows. At least I don't. So Ryan says his vows, and they were cute and sweet. Nothing too much, nothing too little, you know what I'm saying? Then Brett said her vows, and they were cool. They weren't better than Ryan's, but they were all right. So it's time for them to kiss, and they give their first little kiss, and it was sweet. You know, you could tell they were a little, you know, dude, this person got bad breath. Let me ease up in there. Okay, we hear mwah. But they kissed too fast, right? So then they had to come back and do another kiss because the guy didn't tell them to kiss. Y'all got to follow the rules. So, child, they went in for a second kiss, and that second kiss was voluptuous, child. Ryan grabbed her like, come here, girl. You know what I'm saying? Come here. And he pushed his lips up against her face. I was like, ooh, okay. So now y'all a little bit comfortable. I think as they spend more time together, they'll be more comfortable. They'll be more natural. And they're funny. They're both kind of like goofy and silly. So, you know, I think they'll be okay. So they go to their area to talk after the wedding, you know, get to know each other a little. And Ryan says that he thinks his wife is beautiful and he loves her eyes. Oh my God, I was so worried because they just made it seem like all Ryan date is like top models and woo woo woo, but he thought Brett was beautiful. So then we see the couple that's about to blow this thing up, and that's Rachel and Jose. Jose is getting ready with his groomsmen, and Jose goes on to say that he graduated college, he traveled the world, he had an orgy, he was the first man on the moon, and now he wants a wife. Child, I don't know why he keeps saying everything he done. Like, everybody did everything. What you think you done did some, like, little man? I don't know, he feels like he needs to put everything out there so you can know, I created an empire, now I just need a wife. Nobody cares how many homes you got. I don't. Then we see Rachel, and she's excited. She's getting her makeup done. And she says that the last relationship, the guy was unfaithful, and it was only 6 months ago. Child, you don't think that's kind of soon, Rachel? I mean, that's kind of soon. Like, I feel like she might have some insecurities because she says that she gave this guy her everything. So she put a lot into this relationship, and he cheated. Like, it's the way that it ended. Like, I feel like she's gonna still have some insecurities. So she's like, I just reinvented myself and I'm just so much better now. But Rachel, just because you reinvent yourself on the outside, that does not mean that your insides is reinvented, baby. It's good you lost weight, baby, you look good. But emotionally, are you ready to take this step? Like, I hope you are. So Rachel said that she hopes her guy is a talker. Rachel, you ain't got to worry about that because he gonna talk your little head off. Don't even worry about that. Jose loves to talk about him. and anything that he's doing. Then we show Jose, and Jose is sitting at the table with his friends, and he says that he's under 6 foot. He has a big ass nose, and he has a big forehead. And you know what? I noticed the height. I didn't notice the forehead till he was sitting at that table, and I was like, man, his forehead is kind of big. And his ain't nothing wrong with your nose, Jose, so just chill out. You know what? When I first seen Jose, I thought he was attractive. Now, I can't do the height. He's kind of small, but he ain't for me to do. He for Rachel to do. It seems like his self-esteem is kind of low as well. It's just like both of y'all self-esteems is kind of low, so I don't know how this is gonna work. I feel like y'all gonna tear each other down, but let me not jump ahead of myself. Rachel tells her friends that she wants them to tell her if she's losing herself, because she lost herself in the last relationship and she's not trying to go through that same thing again. So I'm nervous. As Rachel was getting ready to walk down the aisle, I did not think that Jose was going to be attracted to her. So she starts walking down the aisle, you know what I'm saying? I'm nervous, woo, woo, woo. And meanwhile, Jose nervous that she gonna like him. Whole time Jose sees her, he grins. He is happy to see her. He got his mouth open doing this little tongue flickery thing. I was like, child, what are you doing? Put that tongue back in your mouth, baby. And he was just like, oh, you look so gorgeous. I was like, oh, okay then. Rachel's walking down the aisle and she's like, I'm not going to be a doormat again. I hope you ain't, because Jose might try to make you one. I'm just saying. Jose says to her, you look gorgeous. And they introduce themselves, and the guy who was marrying them, he was taking forever to do what he was supposed to do. I was like, can you get on with it? What is going on? He looking at them, they looking at him. I'm like, can somebody start the ceremony? What is going on? I got stuff to do. Y'all already come on late and be on 3 hours. Let's go. The guy goes on to say what the families say about each other. Y'all know how this go by now, child. So Rachel family said that she sets 20 alarms to get up. Oh my God, that is, oof. I can't do it, but I guess. They said that Rachel gets hangry, and Jose says, well, I can cook. I was like, okay, Jose, at least you open to a little bit of compromise. That's good. Jose family says that he is very, very structured. Baby, that's the least you could say. Like, a bulletin board on the wall of our expenses, I would see that and have to go back out the door. That gives me anxiety. I don't like it at all. Then Jose starts to say his vows, and he's like, I'm going to provide for you physically, mentally, and sexually. I was like, ugh, God, nobody want to picture that. I don't. Not Jose. No. So they do a lasso ritual, which I've never seen a day in my life. They tie each other together, kind of, with like a rope. And they say some vows. So they kiss, and I described the kiss as pleasant. You know what I'm saying? It was a little awkward, but what you gonna do? It's your first kiss in front of everybody. So here we go. And as they were walking out down the aisle, I was like, okay, they match. Like, they physically look good together, but I know it's about to be some drama with them. I just know. They're two different and yet alike, but they're alike in all the bad ways. So, child, anyway, they go out and they start to talk to each other, because y'all know they got to get to know each other a little bit. Jose says that he's attracted. Rachel says that she's relieved. And they play a game. This game was cute. It was fun. Rachel, good idea. I like this. So they say a thing, and if they have it in common, they sip. So Rachel says, I was born and raised in Houston. They both sip. They both speak Spanish. And it's a little bit of chemistry there. They both start talking to each other in Spanish, which is what I thought Marla and Gil would do. But y'all seen how awkward that was. So they actually talk to each other in Spanish. I thought that was cute. Rachel says that she described him to a T. She's like, I told him, like, I'm not really into looks and I'm more into personality. And then boom, I get you. Jose literally crumbled inside when she said that. Because y'all know the whole time he was like, I hope she finds me attractive. I hope she like me. I hope she want to give me that cootie cat. And then she's like, baby, I wanted personality, and that's all you got. So yeah, he was sick. Don't be sick now. You wanted this. Then we see Brett and Ryan. Ryan says that Brett is not physically exactly what he would go for, but And still, he is pleased. You better be, Ryan, because don't play with Brett. I like Brett. They're all standing around getting ready to take pictures, and Brett's being hilarious, as she always is to me. And Ryan finally doesn't look depressed. In the picture, I expected for his bags to look deep, his frown to look intense, but it didn't. He actually smiled, and I was happy to see it. Then we see Marla and Gil. Gil is talking about the future, how they're going to take these pictures, and their future kids that are never going to exist are going to be like, wow, our parents met at first sight and this is them. Child, y'all ain't going to make it. So don't even worry about kids, because Marla ain't having no babies till she could get that body done. And she needs the deposit before you even shoot up the club. Moving on, we see Rachel and Jose. Rachel hugs Jose's mom and stepmom, and she's like, I'll hug anybody. Because basically the stepmom was like, oh, I'm so-and-so. And she's like, it's cool. You know, I don't know you, but come on, give me a hug. Jose is worried, like really worried in this moment that Rachel won't like him. He's standing around looking kind of awkward, trying to look tall next to her. I was like, what is going on? Why is he trying to look like a big, tall giant and he the little man on the cake? It can't happen. That's not what it's giving. So he looked very uncomfortable in the picture, and Rachel's like, loosen up. And he's like, I'm trying. Just calm down, Jose. She gonna give you the goods? You think if she wasn't attracted to you, she'd be doing all this? Well, she wouldn't have a choice, but you would probably know. She would give off a vibe. I'm really worried that I feel like Jose needs a constant ego boost. That's why he always trying to boost himself up. Like, I've done this. I've got 3 houses. I've got 5 cars. I've been to the moon. I've traveled the US. I know Spanish, Chinese, everything. That's why he tries to boost himself up, because secretly he's like crumbling inside and insecure. So I'm worried that in moments where he might feel insecure about something, he might try to break Rachel down, because her light shines regardless. Rachel said, I just lost some weight, baby. You can't tell me nothing, period. And it's fact. She look good, girl. But don't let him dim your light, and try not to dim his light, Rachel. He is very, very much so a gentle, not giant. Then we see Marla and Gil asks Marla, what did you think of me when you first saw me? And Marla gonna cap, talking about some damn, well, I was just happy you weren't ugly, and you had really nice eyes, and you really had a nice smile, and your dimples, and your shoulders, and da 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 da. Meanwhile, she knows she seen that head glistening first. Stop the cappery, Marla. We know what you seen. Gil said he noticed her lips and her dress. He said that she had to have a lot of confidence to wear that dress, which is what Marla wanted to hear. She said she don't need no man telling her not to be showing her body, because she gonna show it regardless, period. Marla says that she feels comfortable in Gil's arms. She's just so happy, you know what I'm saying? This is all cappery. I'm ready for them to do their normal daily life. I'm tired of these weddings, child, these 3-hour specials of gee and goo. Baby, show them in the house. I need to see that, because that's when the real stuff be popping off. Moving on, we see Rachel. She says that she feels comfortable in Jose's arms as well, I'm sure. And she finally says that she thinks he's cute. Well, goddamn, Rachel. It took you all episodes to say that you thought the man was attractive. That's all he wants. He is in dire need for you to say he is somewhat attractive. He even put sex in his vows. Like, dang, he desperate. Then we see Brett and Ryan. Okay. Brett says that she doesn't know how to 2-step. She don't know how to pop and lock. She don't know how to do anything. She's Brett. So they dancing, right? All awkwardly. And Ryan I guess he likes country, so they dancing to some country stuff. And Brett says that she doesn't fit in with the country lifestyle. She's not a country girl. She wants no parts. And Ryan goes ahead and spins her. She's like, look, I don't spin. You know what I'm saying? This is not me. He spins her. She was like, whoa. But she did the spin. Then he was like, you want to spin again? And she was like, And Brett really wanted to like twirl. He wanted to spin her around like she was a dreidel. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. We made you out of clay. That's what he wanted to do to Brett. Brett was like, I ain't about to be doing this. This is not no good old hold down, showdown. I'm not country. Meanwhile, you in Texas. But it's cool, girl, because I live in the South and I ain't country either. But still, Brett said hell to the no. So then we see Fire and Desire, a.k.a. Michaela and Zach. And Michaela's spitting out her gum, putting it in Zach's hands. And because he's so anxious to be in love, he takes it and try to find somewhere to put it, child. Zach asks Michaela when was her longest relationship, and Michaela says exactly 364 days. She said that the jerk broke up with her the day before it made a year. Michaela asks Zach, has he been on dating apps? And Zach says that he more so likes to meet people in face-to-face. He has no problem with being confident. Even though he was skinny and small in high school and he went to a majority like white school, Catholic school, and he was picked on for being dark skinned. And Michaela's like, well, your skin is beautiful. And the whole time, like, her sisters are just like admiring their connection. They have a very obvious connection, and it's really nice to see. So then we move on to Gil and Marla, and Gil pulls out a chair for Marla, and Marla's like, so are you really a gentleman? And Gil's like, yeah, I open all doors. And Marla's like car doors? And Gil's like, and every other door. Like, I chuckled with that, y'all, because he was like, I said doors. I open them. That's what I do. He looked a little annoyed because she kept emphasizing, like, I'm doors. He opens them. But anyway, Marla asks what's his last name, and he says it. I can't repeat it because I don't know and I don't care. And Gil says, well, what was your mating name? And she tells him, and Marla asks him, what are your opinions on name changing as a married couple? And he's like, well, I'm pretty traditional, I think you should take my name. And she says something of the fact like, oh, well, what if, da 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 da. He's like, you should take my name. I said what I said. And then in her confessional, she's like, well, my husband is pretty conservative. Yeah, most men want you to take their name. Like, please don't make that an issue, Marla, because that's not even cute. I understand your father passed away, but I would think your father has sons to carry his name. Like, chill out. Everybody started tapping their glass, all the family and the friends, tap, 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 wine glass, tap, 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 and saying, keys, keys, but in Spanish. And Gil's friend was in the corner like, yeah, kiss my boy, yeah. Marla's like, period. That's not going to happen tonight or the next night or the next night. He won't be getting these lips. Gil's like, man, she really has nice lips. I want to kiss her. I really want to kiss her. But Marla's like, hell to the knob. She's conservative. You could kiss me on the cheek. I'll kiss you on the cheek. And that's it. Marla is sitting there with that very revealing dress. It's cute, but you conservative. Sis, how'd that go? I'm confused. Moving on, we see Rachel and Jose. And Jose asks Rachel, where does she live and when is her lease up? It's an awkward silence. And he says, well, I'm just asking. Rachel's like, why the hell you worry about when my lease up? Nigga, when your lease up? Why you worry about it? Jose is so pleased with himself about his houses, child. He just can't wait for Rachel to get in there. Rachel's like, what? It was really weird for him to ask that at the reception. Calm down. The other season's couple, they ain't start fighting about where they was going to live at least mid-season, child. Calm down. So everybody started tapping glasses again for the kisses. Tap the glasses for kisses. Kiss. And they do kiss. Jose says that he was on dating apps, but he just had like a high expectation on the dating apps. And he says, I want what I want and I give what I want. And Rachel's like what? What are you trying to say? Rachel says that she don't know if she could be that perfect wife for him. Rachel, you can't. Which is why he's 30 plus with no wife, because nobody is going to measure up to him. He's Mr. Perfection. Meanwhile, he got insecurities pouring out of his pores. So, anyway. Then we see Brett and Ryan. And Brett asks Ryan, do you see the glass half empty? Do you see that glass half full? What you see? And he's like, I'm more of a positive type of guy. And Brett's like, okay, well, I hope that Ryan is my person. She has hope for them. Then we see Johnny and Bao. Bao says that she shows her affection through like gift giving and acts of services, right? That's like her love language. And Johnny's is like, I like physical touch. Well, baby, I don't know how this gonna work out, but we're about to see. So Johnny asks Bao, like, how are you with budgeting? And Bao's like, I'm okay. You know, I could be a little better, but I'm okay. And Bao says, I have on some Jimmy Choo's right now. I was like, okay, Bao. And she's like, I got them from a consignment store. And Johnny's like, what does that mean? And she's like, well, they're like lightly used. And I just paid a little bit cheaper than the regular price. And he was like, I like that. I bet you do, Johnny. Any man that knows you're saving money and when you're shopping, they normally like that. And now everybody's meeting each other's family and friends, right? They're at their reception. Everybody's talking, mingling, woo, woo, woo. Johnny is talking to Bao's brothers, and he's like, he didn't see Bao in that light at the time when they knew each other 10 years ago. And Bao's talking to Johnny's friends, and she's like, I always had a little bit of a crush on him. Johnny asks Bao's brothers, you know, do y'all hug? Because physical touch is like a big deal to me. And like Bao says that she's not really into that. And he's like, well, do y'all do that as a family? And they all look at each other and they're like, no. Johnny, I could have told you that. They don't look like they do no type of anything. They might not even tell each other they love each other. Child, you never know. Then we see Ryan talking to Brett's friends, and they're like, so what do you think? What do you think of Brett? And Ryan's like, well, I don't really normally date redheads. And they're like, well, yeah, she's a redhead, but she pulls it off. And he's like, yeah, she pulls it off. She looks good. You know, I'm attracted to her. I don't really think Ryan knows what he likes, but he likes pretty women and he'll take her as long as she's pretty and got a good heart. He said that himself. Like, he's looking for something deeper than just physical, but Brett's not ugly, so he'll deal with it. So then Brett asks Ryan's friends, you know, straight off the bat, am I his type? And his friends were like, not even remotely. I would have been like, excuse the hell out of me. Who you talking to? Sure, I ain't got to deal with this. They were really rude. I thought it was kind of rude how they were just standing there looking at her. Brett is she's my kind of girl. I felt like they was kind of looking down on her with they hunting ass. They like a country type family. And Brett says that she doesn't know if she's gonna fit in because she's not country. She don't own boots. She not about to hold down. She's like, do y'all be killing things? And Brett's friend is like, well, is that a deal breaker? And she's like, yes. And he's like, well, that's a part of his lifestyle. Well, Brett don't got to deal with that if she don't want to. And if Ryan's smart, he better negotiate, because Brett's a good woman. I said what I said. I'm worried because, y'all, I'm starting to see a little bit of red flags, and y'all know I want them to stick. But they're going to have to compromise, y'all. This is what this show is all about, compromise. So then we see Michaela and Zach. Michaela's sitting down talking to Zach's parents, and Zach's daddy was like, I ain't even gonna lie, I thought this was some shit. I thought this was some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was some bull, but now I see y'all together. It's a chemistry. Yeah, Daddy, you gotta trust the process sometimes, because sometimes the experts don't get it right. But there's a obvious connection between them. So his parents go on and say, yeah, ha ha ha. Sometimes I hope you could deal with the Zach attack. Child, what is that? Michaela was looking like Zach attack. What is that? So they're like, he's either all in or he's all out. So either he's going to be all in this marriage or he's going to be all the way out. Ooh, I'm nervous, honey. Please let him be all the way in. Oh, I'm scared. So then Zach is talking to Michaela's sisters, and they ask him, why should we trust you with our sis? And he's like, well, you should let my actions show it. You know, when in like 2 months, she's going to let you guys know how she's been treated. And that's how you know. Zach, no. You should have said, I will treat her with the utmost respect. I will never disrespect her. I will take care of her. I will nurture her. I will provide. I will do all of these things. That's why they should trust you, Zach. Not you will see. Child, he must have been nervous. Then we see Gil. He's talking to Marla's peoples, right? AKA her brother. And her brother's like, well, do you have any concerns? And Gil is like, yeah, why was she talking about designer stuff up on the vows? Like, what was that about? And her brother was like, well, that's how she celebrates her hard work, because she works so hard, child. I guess harder than everybody else go to work every day and work. But that's how she celebrates, by buying Gucci, Louis, Prada. So, anyway. And Marla is sitting over there talking to Gil's friends, and baby, they gave her the business. Gil's people don't like Marla, okay? I said what I said. So she's sitting over there talking to his friends, and they off the back like, look, you need to compromise. Marla's like, well, what do you mean? Y'all don't get her started. Marla's like, well, what do you mean? Why should I have to change my life? Because of him, And they're like, well, you're married. So with marriage, it comes compromise. What do you mean? I don't know what that means. Like, I work hard, so I enjoy myself. They're like, well, you're married, so she just wasn't getting it. And they're like, you gotta kind of like not buy everything. And his friend's like, well, Gil's cheap as hell, so you can want Gucci, Louis, Prada. Gil's not gonna budge, baby. He's at Ross, Burlington, and Walmart with me, Leah, because that's where I be. I ain't got time for all that, Joe. So they tell Marla, like, things are not the same. And she's like, well, I like to travel. And his friend was like, okay, what that got to do with anything? And she's like, well, that's what I like to do. He's like, so you're high maintenance. And she's like, well, I don't think that's high maintenance, Marla. Sweetie, it is a little bit. It's... How can I say this? You just gotta compromise, honey. Like, it'd be different if Gil was into all of that stuff too, but he's not. So you need to keep that in mind. You gotta change a little. It's a little bit of change, you know what I'm saying? Just a tad. So then we see Brett's friends asking her, like, so what do you think? You attracted to him? What's T says? And she's like, yeah, he's cute or whatever. And this is when they get into everybody asking everybody, are they gonna hunch? Like, it's their business. Child, why y'all want to know if I'm hunching tonight? Mind yours. That's none of your business. So Brett's friends is asking her, like, oh, y'all gonna hunch or what? And then she's like, she don't know, she got to fill it out. So then Marla is talking to Gil's friends. Baby, they can't stand her. Can't stand her. They don't like her at all. So they standing around. They like, well, look who it is. Dun, dun, dun. I was like, well, if y'all don't like her, y'all ain't got to do all that, child. But anyway, they was like, so why you didn't kiss my boy? Why you didn't kiss my boy? She's like, well, we're strangers and I'm not going to be doing all that. And they're like, well, you're not really strangers because you just got married. She's like, but we're still strangers, so it's not going to go down. They were rolling their eyes. I was like, child, this girl is uptight. So then they're like, well, do you know when you will kiss my boy? And she's like, no, ain't no time limit. I do it and when I want. And when I don't, I'm not going to do it. Period. Don't ask me nothing. Mind yours. They was like, oh my God, we do not like her. Gil, run. So then Gil is sitting down with Marla's friends, and her friends are like, so what do you think about sex on the first night? And Gil is like, well, I like my sex to be passionate. I like my hunching to be passionate. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just hunch just to hunch. I'm going to need us to have some passion against it. So they're like, well, even if it takes months, Gil is so sweet. Gil was like, Well, even if it takes months, 6 months, that's nothing to a lifetime, to 40 years. So I could wait. Gil is so nice. I like him so far. Let's not speak too soon. And then Rachel is sitting down with Jose's stepmom, and Jose's stepmom is basically like, so what are y'all doing? Y'all gonna get it popping or what? And Rachel's like, well, I don't know. She's trying to keep it cute because she don't know her like that. And the stepmom was like, well, go ahead and hunch my stepson right quick. Child, don't hold back. He need it. He want it. She know him very well because he needs that physical touch. But you ain't got to go all the way, Rachel. You know what I'm saying? We see the couples go off into the hotel where it's about to get either popping or not popping. And it's time for hunch time. So Michaela and Zach are laying on the bed, and Zach is like, well, there's a box of condoms over there, so do you want to take the dress off and get more comfortable? Michaela's like, yes. What do you mean? It's that time. We already know what's about to go on with them. I ain't even got to speak too much on it. Zach says that Michaela comes out the bathroom, and Zach is like, oh, I ain't know all that was there. So basically, Michaela thick. She thick with it. And he liked that. He said he liked to see her in normal clothes and no makeup, and he's very attracted. We know. Okay, so then we see Johnny, and he's struggling the whole scene. The whole last 4 minutes of the episode, he's struggling with Val's dress. He's like, fingers don't fail me now. Let me get this dress off so I could possibly see my wife, full physique. So he's struggling, but he eventually gets it. Val gives him they both get in the bed, and Val gives him a body pillow. She's like, here, take this pillow and use it as a body pillow because I know you like physical touch. Val, that ain't physical touch, baby. He wants to feel the warmth of your body. She builds a pillow bridge in between them. I was like, what is going on? Chill, I don't know. Anyway, we see Brett, and she's hoping that Ryan will still like her with no makeup. And she comes out the bathroom. I was like, oh, but this is dramatic. She comes out, and of course he still does. Ryan says that he prefers to see her with no makeup. Ryan says that she is not his normal type, but he likes her. Okay, Ryan, so I let you say that, okay, during the wedding, but it's time to stop saying that now, because I'm not trying to hear that, and I know Brett not trying to hear that all season. She's not your type. We got it, but you need to get into it because she's who you got. And child, don't be trying to make Brett feel ugly. I don't appreciate it because she ain't. Anyway, so then we see like previews of how this season is gonna be. Y'all, I'm about to review this whole season. It's about to be drama. From the preview, we see that Marla ain't giving Gil no kisses. Rachel gonna be looking at Jose all season crazy, like with big buck eyes. Like, what is he talking about, child? Yeah, look at him crazy. Brett might be a little insecure, but you still my girl. We could work on it. We'll go to therapy. And Michaela and Zach, I don't know what's going on with y'all, but baby, get it together. Michaela was wilding. Woo! But y'all seen it, and if you didn't see it, check out the episode, y'all, so y'all can know what's going on, what I'm talking about on these reviews. If you are not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. What are you waiting on, sweetie? And go ahead and hit that like. Make sure the notification bell is on so you don't miss any of my reviews. I'll be reviewing the whole season. I also review Love After Lockup, Put a Ring on It, and a host of other shows to be determined. So until then, I will see you on my next review. Ta-ta.